Hello, beautiful souls. So, how do we stop our thoughts during meditation? This is such a good question. Really, for two reasons. One, because most of us come to meditation because we want an off button. This thing is making us crazy. Um, and we want to stop it. And the second reason it's a really good question is because once we start meditating and that doesn't happen, the off button doesn't work. In fact, we keep thinking, and we seem to be thinking even more. How do we make it stop? And that's not what happens, right? And so everyone comes to this point where that's why they're here and it's not working. So what do we do? Well, the first thing to understand is that meditation is not actually an off button for this thing. It's more like a volume dial. It turns the volume down. How does that work? And why do I say that at all? Well, let's step back a bit and look at what we're actually doing with meditation. And in fact, we're even going to step back and look at what we're doing as humans, as consciousnesses, and why meditation works as a volume button at all. And it's this. You and I have spent our lives focusing on our thoughts. It is an extreme obsession. We are so focused on our thoughts that we've become identified with them and we think we are our thoughts. That's a little bit crazy. Basically, what's happened is we focus on them so much that we forget that we are separate from them. We forget that we are the consciousness looking at our thoughts. This is a bit crazy. The analogy I like to give is it's a bit like sitting in a movie theater watching a movie, and you're so into the movie that when the hero and heroine are running, dun, 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 your heart's beating really fast, and when they get up to the monster and the monster turns around to hit them, you're like, whoa! You have totally forgotten that you were in a movie theater sitting there with your popcorn. You are on the beach with the hero and the heroine with the monster. Like, your heart rate's gone up, everything. Like, you've totally identified with the movie. You think you're there. Well, that's what your thoughts are like. You are a consciousness observing your thoughts, looking at your thoughts, noticing your thoughts, to the point of obsession. You are so focused on your thoughts, you have identified with them. You think you are them. Okay, so what does meditation do? Well, meditation has us focus on something else. Traditionally, that can be things like breath, body sensation, a candle, a spot on the wall, a mantra, a photograph, anything really to get you to focus on something else other than your mind. And of course, in the beginning, this is such a strong obsessive habit to go this way that even though you're doing your best to focus on something else, you constantly go back, you constantly go back, you constantly go back, you constantly go back. Breath, thoughts, breath, thoughts, breath. Oh, what did I have for lunch today? Oh, breath. Oh, what am I going to do tomorrow? Breath. Oh, right? I mean, it's constant. You're so good at this, you're so trained for this, that it takes a while to break this habit. Meanwhile, you're wondering, like, how do I turn this off? Well, you don't ever turn your thoughts off, ever. It's like your heartbeat. It's just here. As long as you're alive, yay, you're alive. This thing is going to keep going. So will your heart. So what happens, though, is that this keeps going, just like your heart, but you are able to focus on other things. And that's what I mean about the volume button. Instead of obsessively focusing on this to the point that this is all that you hear, the volume is way high, you get good at focusing on other things so that the volume of this can go down. That's what meditation does. Meditation helps you be able to focus on other things. And in fact, to control your focus so that you can focus on nothing, lots of stuff all at once. It takes time. It does happen though. So hang in there. You're doing fine. Just because you keep going like this all the time, that's normal. Stick with it, my friend. You'll get there. I hope that helps.